Hi, welcome to Analog IAS. So today we are going to discuss about the exam which has been conducted by UPSC Mains GS paper 3 in that security challenges. So what type of questions they have asked? See, there are two types of questions. One is a direct, the other is one is a fundamental based question they have asked, and the other is fundamentally applied question they have asked. Okay, one was applied and remaining three was a fundamental based questions only out of 4, and it has carried 2 15 marks and 2 10 marks questions. So let us discuss that one by one. So first, discuss the types of organized crime. Okay, describe the linkage between the linkages between terrorist groups and organized criminals that exist in the national and the transnational. So how to write such type of answer? Now, what type of question it is? It is a fundamental type of question. Very, very easy, 10 marks. Okay, so what are the types of organized crimes we have? So first, directly we have to go to this thing, that what is the type of organized crime? Okay, so what are the types of organized crimes? First, let me define one term. Okay, if you can, otherwise you cannot also. No need to define this organized crime also. Organized crimes are what? It is a criminal activity of the serious in nature performed by a group of 3 or more people. And what are the types of organized crimes? Smuggling, trafficking, kidnapping, extortion, contract killing. All these are the types of organized crimes. Okay, these are the different types of organized crimes we have. Now, let us go to the question that what is the different types of linkages. Types we have seen. Smuggling. So where do you see most kind of smuggling? Transnational and national. National, in the national, smuggling takes place in the, towards POK, Pakistan border, towards Bangladesh border, okay, towards your Myanmar. All these areas are highly prone to smuggling areas. Trafficking, that is through it is also serious in nature because human trafficking, and there are two types. Human trafficking is done as well as your animal trafficking is done. So, this animal trafficking and human trafficking, particularly animal trafficking, if I talk about this, then Bangladesh, in terms of Bangladesh, you have a high animal trafficking region. So kidnapping, extortion, contract killing, all these are your, we can say, these are your types of organized crimes. Then the second part of the question, what is the linkage between the organized crime and terrorist groups? So generally there are 3 types of linkages. One, coexistence. Second, cooperation. Third, confluence. What is coexistence means? See, coexistence simply, the two groups exist in the same area. That which are the two groups? The terrorist groups as well as the organized criminal groups exist in same area, and they operate in the same region, but as a separate entity they operate. That is your coexistence. I'll write about the coexistence, first one. Then cooperation. What is the type of cooperation they have? See, the cooperation, it might be 2 types. Actually, the cooperation between the terrorist groups, the linkages, the cooperation between the terrorist groups and the organized criminal groups is simply customer service relationship. Okay, it is a customer services. So one, there are 2 kinds of customer service relationships. One is the economical benefit, and the second is ideological proximity. Economical benefit. For the benefit, economical benefit, if I want to write about the economical benefit, the organized criminal groups helps the terrorist groups and vice versa. And if they are helping each other in terms of their economical benefit, okay, economical benefits, each of them, they cooperate with each other in the customer service relationship. You provide me logistics, I will provide you money. You provide me, you do this smuggling, I'll give you some share out of this. So such kind of cooperation that exists between economical benefits. Then I'll write about your ideological proximity. That means if the ideology of the organized criminal groups are coinciding with your, I can write so many examples for the economical benefits. Like in the Northeast insurgency, extortion can be done, smuggling, and this smuggling also towards your golden crescent and golden triangle, there is a lot of smuggling takes place, and these are customer service relationship between the organized criminal groups and terrorist groups. I can write about that examples. Okay, then ideological proximity. That means if the ideology of the organized criminal groups and terrorist groups are similar, then your ideological proximity exists. Like for example, I have written, like for example, Madrid terrorist attack in 2004, Al-Qaeda and East European organized criminal groups. East Europe organized criminal groups, their ideology proximity, their ideologies are same. That's why. Clear? Then also, what is confluence? Confluence means common form of existence, common form, where terrorist groups start performing the activities of the organized criminal groups. So many things are there. Like you see, Lashkar-e-Taiba, D company. Okay, then ISIS. Okay, and if I want to write about the national and international corporations, these Lashkar-e-Taiba and D company is one international organizations. I can write. Then in locally, nationally, Jammu Kashmir, counterfeit currencies, major source for funding of terrorism. This example I can write, I can quote. Then Northeast extortion, just now I told you. Then India, proximity to drug producing regions like Golden Crescent and Golden Triangle. So these are the major threats. Then I'll write about the conclusion that the linkage between the organized criminal groups and terrorist groups are not absolute, as it most developed nation organized criminal crime thrive with few or independent of the terrorist activity. So organized criminal group is not only a national level threat, but has emerged as an international level threat where all the countries must come together and globally respond to it. So this is a conclusion that I'm going to write it. Clear? Then my second question, that is your, what are the maritime security challenges? 10 marks again. Maritime security challenges. Maritime security challenges in India. So first part. Second part, discuss the organizational, technical, and procedural initiatives taken to improve the maritime security. So organizational, technical, and procedural initiatives that are been taken. So two parts are there in this. One, I want to mention about maritime security. Second, they are talking about initiatives taken to curb this maritime security challenges. Okay, what are the maritime security challenges which are there? So let me introduce my answer. See here, like this. What I will write, India has a long coastline and 90% of its economic trade takes place through sea route. And also India is a net security provider, number 2. Number 3, there is an instability that exists in and around the Indian neighbors. Like if you take Myanmar, if you take Sri Lanka, if you take the other Indian Ocean countries, there exists instability, political instability exists, political turmoil exists. So what makes them? They are highly prone that they use, this as an opportunity to enter into Indian territory. So as India is a net security provider, illegal activities which are taking place, okay, in Indian Ocean, 26/11 attacks, etc. All these are India is highly vulnerable to maritime challenges. So what kind of maritime security challenges that exist? So I have written, you see, India has a long coastline. Yes or no? And 90% of the country trade. India is a net security provider, and also India is highly vulnerable coastline because of illegal activities which are taking place in the coastline, and also the terrorist activities which we have seen in the year 2008 26 by 11. So maritime security challenges, what are that? First I have to explain this maritime security challenges. First is maritime terrorism. Okay, terrorism, that is attack on the ports as well as attack on the ships, both attack on the ports and the ship. So I can quote the example of 26 by 11 attack. After that also, so many have tried to intrude into Indian territory through maritime, but they have failed it. Okay, first I'll write about that challenge. Second challenge, most important challenge, that is your piracy and armed robbery. Okay, Somalia coast, because if you look at this here, Somalia coast, when India ships are passing through this, they are highly vulnerable to piracy, and because of this piracy, premium cost is also increasing. Premium cost is also increasing here, and they pose major threats to the sea navigation, shallow water, and also waters of Sundarban and Arabian Sea. They are highly witnessing acts of violence and armed robberies. Okay, second challenge. Third challenge, smuggling and trafficking, gold, electronic goods, narcotics and arms. Third, infiltration, illegal migration, and influx of refugees. See, like for example, infiltration, the creek waters where the BSF guards, creek waters, they are highly vulnerable regions. It is a muddy region, it is a sandy, muddy regions, you know, they are inhabited regions. So people can, Pakistan, the terrorist organizations can use this area and enter into India. This is called as a geographical proximity, creeks. And also illegal migrations from Bangladesh, illegal migration from Myanmar, etc. They are highly widespread political turmoil, right? So these are one challenge. Then also, what are the initiatives that have been taken? That is what we have seen. What kind of steps you see? Procedural, organization, and technical. Organization. What do you write in the organization? We can write about your, in the organization. See, no need to mention. If you want to mention, you can mention organization, procedural, etc. Otherwise, you can write in a way itself. Procedural issues, organizational issues, technical issues, etc. Like you see, Indian Coast Guard, creation of Indian Coast Guard for navigation. Okay, maritime security, maritime police, like creation of maritime or marine police force, state marine, for patrolling and surveillance in the areas. Then also coastal security architecture upgradation, providing these ID cards to fishermen, multiple ID cards to the fishermen's. Then also CISF has taken, Central Industrial Security Force has taken guarding of ports, major ports, guarding. So strengthening of security here. Then also installation of vessel traffic management system in major ports, vessel traffic management system, and all the fishermen boats have been attached with the GPS tracking where they are staying, etc. And also your National Committee for Strengthening Maritime and Coastal Security headed by Cabinet Secretary, and Sagar, Security for Growth and all regions. These are some of the initiatives that have been taken. So you can also write conclusion like strengthening of coast guards, comprehensive legislation to be placed in system for protection maritime infrastructure, national commercial maritime security policy, where strategic vision for maritime securities has to take place. So these are the type of conclusions you can include in your conclusion, right? Then we'll see another topic, question, that is, what are the different elements of cyber security? Now this is important. This is a fundamental applied question. Okay, this is a fundamental different types of elements of cyber security. Keeping in the view challenges of cyber security, examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a comprehensive national cyber security strategy. Now, why this question was asked? Rajesh Pant, Lieutenant General Rajendra or Rajesh Pant has given a report, that is National Cyber Security Strategy. Indian government has yet to adopt this. So what is this report talks about, and what are the different elements which are been involved in the cyber security? See, different elements like phishing, okay, phishing, phing, phishing. Then also about your these are the types. You see, different element. Application securities are there, information securities are there, and also one more thing is about your network security, operational securities. These are the types of elements which are there present. Different types of elements of cyber security. Now, before going to this, let us introduce also. Cyber security is important to protect the critical infrastructure, and also as we are going for digitalization program throughout the country in various sectors, it is must for to develop a policy, or it is necessary for creation of policies towards strengthening our cyber security. And there are various or you can also write an introduction like this, that in the recent past, from the post-COVID, we have seen a large number of cyber security attacks on Indian various sectors, from China, like in the Ladakh region, okay, power grid, then also your malwares, then on DRDO websites, and also on the Twitter, they have hacked like that. So you can introduce yourself in such a way. Or you can also write like this. This is a one thing, that the state of Indian cyber security ecosystem grew from 175 firms in 2018 to 25, but cyber security products industry revenue grew from $275 million to $1,060 million. But also at the same time, if you look at this, there are number of attacks, cyber security attacks also increased. And also you see that what are that? They also said that they also gave the report. One of the organization gave the report that India is the second vulnerable country to the cyber security threats. You can introduce your answer. As we have grown, the internet users, number of internet users are growing, as well as smart mobile users are growing. So these are the major concerns for India, and because of this, they are highly vulnerable to the cyber security threats. And you can quote one of the examples that recently Ladakh, etc., Ladakh power grid recently attacked by Chinese hackers. Okay, so this you can quote it in your introduction part of your answer. Then different types, they are asking different elements of cyber security. Okay, different elements of cyber security. So what are the different elements of cyber security? First is application cyber security. Application security, that means it shields the sites and online applications from various sorts of cyber security dangers, particularly cloud services based organizations. Okay, cloud service based organization. Then information security. Information security, defending unapproved access, okay, and interruption, modification, or deletion of information, right? Then third one is network, providing security to the unapproved access and danger. Okay, then operation to protect sensitive data from various threats. So what are the challenges? See, some of the challenges that, keeping in the mind that what are the challenges, that some challenges I'll write. Lack of coordination, cyber security approach, then national cyber security strategy that is yet to be implemented. Okay, yet to be implemented. Lack of proactiveness, right? Because the CNRT, emergency team, emergency response has responded to cyber threats. It has been late in conducting security checks and often released advisories once attack has taken place. That's why it's a proactiveness. Okay, it is not in case of WhatsApp, Pegasa only came after others have warned and possibility of individual being compromised. Inadequate modernization of computer systems and dependency on foreign players for cyber security tools. Okay, these are some of the challenges that are there. So you see key products demands, these are already we have discussed this. So national cyber security strategy, it was conceptualized by General Rajesh Pant, right? Then what it said, what this report says, that large scale digitalization of public services, focus on security at early stage of design, all digitalization, supply chain security, okay, monitoring and mapping of supply chains in integrated circuits, electronic products, etc. Then critical information infrastructure protection, right, like integrating supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA. Then digital payments, state level cyber security, security for your this thing, security of SMB, and mostly this, what this report also talks about, that this national security strategy budget provisions, that is 1% of your budget has to go for cyber security things, setting up of funds for cyber security, providing central funding to the state for building capacity, then research, innovation, skill development, etc., crisis management, holding drills, etc., cyber insurance, then also cyber diplomacy. So these are the things that we need to discuss about the cyber security things. Then our last question, that is Nuxellism. Let us talk about the Nuxellism. Nuxellism is a social, economical, and developmental issue manifesting violent internal security threat. Security threat. Now, in this context, discuss the emerging issues and suggest multilateral strategy to tackle menace of Nuxellism. So, first of all, I'll introduce. In 2009, 2008, 2005 and 6, our Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, or that at that time Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, described Nuxellism as a gravest internal security threat. Okay, gravest internal security threat. And this Nuxellism has various angles like social, developmental, economical, or developmental issues, etc., whatever it may. So let me introduce that Nuxellism has multiple determinants from governance perspective, security perspective, infringing of the rights, constitutional issues. Government of India has taken various measures from administrative to security to curb the spread of this Nuxellism. So let us see what are the emerging issues which are there in this Nuxellism. In the name of development, see, first, in the name of development, the SCSTs, particularly ST land, has been alienated for big projects without any compensation or proper compensation or rehabilitation programs, etc., that making they lost their livelihood, and also the love towards the nature has been lost. That is one of the reasons why that there is a rise of Nuxellism in particularly eastern part of the country. Then rampant mining and illegal minings. Rampant mining and illegal mining is a second emerging issues which are there. Then I'll describe this. What are this? Denial of social justice, vacuum of governance, lack of proper implementation of legal and constitutional rights like Article 244, Schedule 5, 6. Okay, then PESA Act 1996. Then also I'll describe about this Forest Rights Act 2006. Okay, forest rights. All these are constitutional legal measures that they are lacking. That's why they are rise. Then what are the steps and absence of social and physical infrastructure mainly? And because of this, there is a capital, the flight. The scholars are moving away. from that particular area. Okay, in search of, they are settled in the other countries or other regions of the India, like big scholar, they are not able to, their ideas are not been taken away, or they are been threatened there by the Nuxelites, etc. So it is a flight, human brain flight. It is called human brain flight. So livelihood related issues also, PDS issues, like leakages of PDS, not able to provide food security to these Nuxels, to these local tribes, etc. So that are all these issues that I will mention in this answer. Then what are the multilateral strategy? No need to write this, but I'm just giving you that in the answer. Like developmental and law and order should go in hand. If one goes and other is not developing or other is not taking place, then what will happen? There is an extremism takes place. If the development is taking place, no law and order, developmental will lead to underdevelopment. And if only law and order taking place, no developmental, then there will be revolts. Okay, so such have to go hand in hand, like MG Nariga, Manrega, then providing rights to the tribals under Forest Right Act and PESA Act, civic action plan. Okay, then greenhound operations, like your greyhounds, etc. Then modernization of police forces. Okay, TriFed, market facilities for tribal minor produced, skill development programs for self-employment generation or employment opportunities, and the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. Okay, so these are some of the initiatives that can be taken, right? So conclusion, you can write that Nuxellism, there is still a long way ahead, and also government has taken various administrative as well as the security measures in order to bring the number of LW districts from 2004 to 2022. It has been reduced drastically. In 2004, it was more than 200 plus districts under the LWE, but now it is only 80 plus districts according to Ministry of Home Affairs report. Still, there is a need like infrastructure development and also skill development, modernization of police forces, restraint, awareness generation, etc. So these are some of the conclusions that you can write it. Okay, so this is thank you. You can reach out to this phone number about the thank you so much.